Hold it up. Say it again.
My camera.
What is it?
My camera.
Say it loud.
My camera.
Hold it up and say it.
My camera.
Yo, it's Mike on the mic. I'm back. No, it's been a minute. Got a lot of new things, transitioning, moving, a whole lot of stuff, whatever going on. But what's up, man? Been a minute, of course. That's my fault. That's all on me. But I'm gonna do better. Coming soon. Yeah, I wasn't even gonna hop on the pod today. As you can see, I would never hopped on looking the way I'm looking today, man. Little wolf going on, whatever. But one thing I wanted to mention, some news was gonna start doing. Somebody mentioned it to me. I thought about it, something similar, but they mentioned it. I was like, okay, that's dope. Was once a week we sports movies. We get players from the movies and do a 1v1 like comparison, or who you think gonna win. And so I'm gonna start one today. And today I got Jimmy Chitwood from Hoosiers and Tom Sheppard from Above the Rim. All right, you never seen Hoosiers? It's a good movie with Gene Hackman. He the only one I remember from the movie. I don't really know any of the other actors. I mean, I know there's some stars in other movies, but I don't really know the movies. But he got a team. I think he had like 6 players. They was pretty solid, but they needed one thing. It was that bucket getter, and it was a player out there named Jimmy who stopped playing basketball because his former coach, who was like a father to him, had passed away. So he had stopped playing. But Jimmy was a beast. He had a burner. He did not miss shots. I think I seen him miss one shot the whole movie when he was out there talking to the coach and he was shooting. He probably made, 20, 30 in a row. And then he missed one and was like, dang, I missed that. And that was pretty fun. I was like, oh yeah, he got that. My fault, y'all. It's on my face. Definitely some on my face. I don't know what that was. I don't know, my fault, y'all. I've been in the kitchen cooking and stuff. But yeah, this is like an emergency pod. But back to Jimmy, man. He was cold. He was a good player. Everybody wanted him to play. And he used to peek in on the practices and all sorts of stuff. Like, he wanted to play, but something wouldn't let him play. And the coach pretty much came back, said some things to him. I think probably stuck with him. But the coach wanted the town's type of coach. So they was, ready to, the town trying to vote him out, get him out of there or whatever. And I ain't gonna say it was working, but they had like a whole meeting to like get him up out of there. And I believe they voted him out until Jimmy showed up to the meeting and was like, I'm deciding to play finally. This was towards the end. And everybody started cheering. He was like, but one thing, if I play, Coach stays. If he go, I go. So they had to re-vote. And of course, Coach stayed and Jimmy went and got some buckets. He was cold. Now this goes to Tom Sheppard. Tom Sheppard, this is same thing, similar thing. Kind of, sort of. Not even like including race. Tom Sheppard was black, Jimmy was white, but it's, they got similar, things. I'll talk about it toward the end. But Tom Sheppard was, he lost his friend. And his name was Nutso. And they kind of like did something to him. So I think he stopped playing after that and disappeared. But when he came back, same thing. Tom Sheppard was a bucket. He had that fundamental, spread the fingers and all of that. So yeah, he was pretty cold too. He didn't come. He was older, so he didn't come back to the team. He helped his team win a championship though in the movie. Yes, he definitely did that. But he didn't have, had to come back to an actual team and win like a state championship or nothing like that. But there's a lot of similarities. Tom Sheppard showed up and probably scored 30 points in like 30 seconds. It seemed like, he came up, his highlight. I mean, at first he got a little shaky because he had to play against his brother's team. His brother, I think his name was Birdie, played by Tupac. Street dude, ties to streets, gangs, and all. You know what I'm saying? Drugs, all that type of stuff. Like bro walked around with a razor in his mouth. Like, you know, he went to go visit his mom one time. And his brother walked up and they was talking. And bro was like reaching in, pulled the razor out. I'm like, that's crazy. You just walk around with a razor in the side of your jaw. But yeah, there's a lot of similarities. One is like more of a ghetto story, I guess. One more of like a country story. Cause it's like Indiana, I believe. With Hoosiers, Indiana. And I think the other one might have been New York or something. I can't even remember. But yeah. By the end, you know, he showed up to the championship. At the main character, Dwayne. What's Dwayne's last name? I forgot Dwayne's last name. He was with Tisha Campbell, was married to her. But after he was selling the game or whatever, he pretty much mentored the boy. Not on purpose, but he he mentored the boy and got him together. If you watch, you can see how he was mentoring, showing him stuff. Beat him one-on-one. Kyle Anderson was the name of the movie, I believe. Kyle was going to Georgetown. And they played one-on-one, and he taking the ball from him. This shows how good he really was. And he's older now. So imagine him when he was 18. It's cold. So when he showed up to the little, I think it was like a street ball championship game, whatever. And he showed up and played. He probably had 30 plus points. They showed up. We talking about midi, dunk, another two-hand dunk. We got the filet before filet was a thing. I'm like, bro, he is cold. He had to have 30 points, bro. And they won. He threw an alley to Kyle at the end, and he dunked it and they won. But this is a little different. One game you cheer, you happy you won. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a ghetto story, remember? So the guy who lost, he told his man, he said, hey, go handle that. My man, I'm going to pull the gun out the bag and went over there and try to shoot Kyle. Because he lost pretty much. And because Kyle was, supposed to be throwing the game for him. So he pulled the gun out or whatever. And Tom Sheppard, played by Leon, runs up and jumps in front of the bullet. He takes the bullet. Say Kyle's career. Kyle goes to Georgetown. Kyle, doing his thing. Kyle hitting game winner. He hit a game winner towards the end when they showed it. So Kyle doing his thing because this man took that bullet. Now the other one, they said they hit the game winner, they, they legends in their city. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, y'all know how the world go. You got country, city, streets. Like, everybody got different types of endings in their movies, and in life. So, but for me, they're both was, real good fundamental players who hardly missed shots, who had some good coaches, I'll say. But there's a lot of similarities. Like, Jimmy lost his coach, who's, who was close to him. And Tom Sheppard lost his best friend, who was close to him. Both of them stopped playing basketball, after that. But when they came back, they went crazy. So you got that, and then they both won a championship game because of them, their championship games. So I don't know. It's a lot of similarities. Jimmy, I'm not gonna say Jimmy couldn't play. Jimmy was more of a catch and shoot, or if he shoot anything, it went in. So Jimmy is a dangerous player if open, or if I believe if anybody put a hand up, he probably was dangerous too. But in this situation, I'm gonna go Tom Sheppard because Tom Sheppard showed the jumper, played some defense. Like, he did a whole lot of stuff more than Jimmy. No slight to Jimmy's game. Jimmy was great. Like, if I named all my movie's top 5 players, which I will in another video, Jimmy is up there in my top 3. I'm not even gonna lie, top 3. Because I know people can be like, oh, what about Penny and Blue Chip? Nah, I ain't doing all that. That was NBA players. I'm not really counting that. So we've been specific movie players. Yeah, Jimmy is still in my top 3. I don't know who 2 is or, who the top 3 is, but I got Tom Sheppard up there because of, everything he went through and everything he was able to do. Tom Sheppard was a beast. Putting the ball on the floor and all the stuff that he did. That's not just saying, and for those who, this is not race related at all. Tom Sheppard did a lot. He played D. He could put the ball on the floor, took him to the rim. Jimmy wasn't doing all of that. Not saying that he couldn't, but that wasn't his thing. Jimmy probably shoots better than Tom Sheppard. I can definitely say that. His jumper was probably definitely better than Tom Sheppard. Cause I said Tom could shoot, but he won't really shoot on three. He shot probably two, and that we seen. But his thing was really shooting the mid range, and he got to the rim. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he did the flavor thing. He could dunk, but his thing was the midi. Jimmy was he was he was hitting threes. We're talking about Jimmy hitting probably 20 back-to-back threes though. I don't know if Tom was hitting back-to-back threes, but he owned the midi. So we got one who attacks the rim and shoot the midi, and one who's Jimmer for that from the three. I ain't gonna say Steph Curry. I'm gonna say Jimmer for that because Jimmy was like before Stephen Curry, and just the Jimmer vibes just sound better in that type of situation. But it was a fundamental jumper, and then went in. If you haven't checked it out, check out Hoosiers. Hoosiers, I believe. And I don't know what it's on, but look it up. It's a good movie. It's an older movie. Both of them are older movies. I think that's older than Above the Rim. Above the Rim is the other one with Tupac in it, Dwayne, and Marlon Wayans was in there too. What's his name? Woody Harrelson? Not Woody Harrelson. I don't know that dude's name. His brother, the black guy from Why Did I Get Married? Not Why Did I Get Married? From Guy Who Married a Black Woman. He coached LeBron in the movies and all this other stuff. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his name. He played on Paid in Full. Yeah, he on there. Leon is on. Like that's a real good movie. That's on YouTube. If you know what I'm saying, if you want to check that out. But yeah, I'm going with Tom Sheppard in this one. And the next one, somebody sent me another one. Can't think what it was. I might do it this weekend too, just because. But I'm not even sure what it is. I can't remember. But if it comes to me, I'll go ahead and do that one too. But if you got any suggestions though, hey, don't feel free to comment. Any movie, athletes and how do the comparison. But this one, we're taking Tom Sheppard. Jimmy a beast, but we're taking Tom Sheppard this one. But like I said, check the movies out, man. Yeah. This is Michael and Mike for this episode.